Hi, everyone, and welcome to the Libra March 2023 weekly Illumination reading. This is I Am Illuminated Tarot, a place for you to better connect with and illuminate your own personal spiritual importance. So hi everyone and welcome. We're going to be taking a look today at the energy for the week ahead, or more specifically from about 7 days from the point of you watching this. So if you watch it a little after it's originally posted, don't worry, the intention is that it's for the week from ahead from when you watch. Okay, so Libra, we're going to be first looking at what you're bringing to the week. Then we're going to be looking at what's going on around you in your environment. And then we're going to be looking at a block or a challenge, advice from Spirit as to how to overcome that. And then we're going to see the opportunity that wants to come in for us. Okay, so we have the Four of Swords for your energy, which is really good for actually the time period that we're in. I'm filming this right before the Virgo full moon, which is a wonderful time to be reflective in this way. Yeah, okay. I definitely see a story coming through here. And there's that Empress too. I don't know if you noticed when I was originally shuffling, quite a few cards came out, but the Empress is at the bottom of the deck. So that's your energy, Libra, coming through. I love it. All right. So what I was saying about the Virgo full moon, that is tomorrow. It's the day after I'm filming this. It's really about getting clear as to the parts of ourselves that are wounded and need to be healed. And because it's a full moon, it's a perfect time to illuminate that and really get into a space to release it so that we can move into the start of the Zodiac New Year, which is Aries season, starting at the end of this month, and really have that kind of fresh energy to move forward without the pain or the wounds or kind of those bad habits we've carried up to this point. So we have here the Four of Swords as your internal energy. We have the Three of Swords as your external or environmental energy. Now, the Four of Swords is one where we get a chance to stop, we get to pause, we get to rest. You see it's a knight in repose here. Now, he has the three swords up on the wall and one sword lying next to him. And those three swords are actually represented here in the Three of Swords card, which are the wounds of the past. These are the things that haunt us in a mental space. The negative comments from a mentor or a parent from the past, a time when we had a loved one or a romantic partner tell us we weren't lovable or good enough for them. This can be past failures of ours. And the beauty of the Four of Swords is when we get to really kind of stop and reflect and remove those swords. We put them outside of ourselves to say, that was an opinion of another person. That's not the truth of who I am. That was a time in my life when I tried something, and even though I failed, it doesn't mean that I am a failure. It means that I tried, and I learned something from that experience. And what you get to come out of this time period of reflection is with your own truth, separate from the wounding thoughts that have been placed on you from experience or from others outside of yourself. And that truth is then very powerful because it represents the Ace of Swords, which is your truth, the truth that you get to kind of go through life victoriously using, or when you choose to act from authentic truth. Now, going up here and taking a look at kind of what's the past energy up to the present. We have the Page of Cups, beautiful energy, getting back in touch with your, what I like to call your inner child, that part of ourselves that's just exuberant and excited and loves something purely for the sake of loving it. This is the part of ourselves that, you know, we can't help but get excited and tell somebody about something when maybe we pass by a billboard or a topic comes up and we're like, oh my gosh, that's my favorite thing. And we, for the moment, don't care what other people around us think. That's that kind of vulnerability. And I think for many of you, you've been getting back in touch with that part of yourself. And therein lies an opportunity, an Ace of Pentacles. There's something about getting back in touch with this pure, innocent version of yourself that is actually creating a physical opportunity for you in the present moment, or may have in the recent past done so. This could be where, you know, getting back in touch with yourself, you realize that you really want to pursue something new, and a little bit of maybe money comes forward to start a class in something that you forgot you were interested in. Or this can be when you expressed yourself vulnerably and emotionally and someone said, you know what, I'll help you out with that. Well, have you thought about doing this? Or I can help you, give you a little money to do that. Or there's something here around this ace that's directly tied to reconnecting to that innocent part within yourself, or to something within you that was kind of that past dream, or that version that really speaks to just what you love for the sake of loving, or what you need for the sake of needing it. And here comes the Empress, which is your energy. This is actually your card. You and Taurus share this card in the tarot. It is a card that is ruled by Venus. It's the divine feminine. It speaks to understanding the power of the divine feminine to be able to give birth or create the manifestation of what she wants, and she holds space for that. And it's a beautiful energy of really being able to take this seed, this small opportunity from the universe, and to be able to actually grow it into the abundance that you seek, or that you truly are capable of bringing to being. Okay, so now I'm going to pull some cards here that are going to really speak to kind of taking a deeper dive into what you're looking at for this week. So the challenge, the block, the advice from spirit, and the opportunity. I can say again, you're very in alignment with the energy of this full moon and kind of this time period, of this week in general. So this is going to be one that I think may feel at first a little difficult or a little triggering as you reflect on these, kind of pain points. But it's going to, I think, because it's so in flow, that as the week moves on, you guys are really going to kind of come full circle into releasing that and getting back to this kind of pure version of yourself, which is really interesting. That's actually going to lend to, I feel like for many of you, a highly creative period coming after this. So you have the Two of Swords, which is in your main challenge position. This is one where we are kind of waffling between two decisions. We can't quite see which one is better for us, or we need to make a decision and we can't actually just physically see which one is better, or we can't rationalize which one is better. And it speaks to really having to go within, to have to close your eyes and use your intuition to be able to guide you in that. Now, being able to really reflect on the pain of the past is going to allow you to have clarity on this Two of Swords. Because when you think about it, she's holding two swords, they seem to look the same. So this could be like if the individual is holding his own sword of truth and getting it mixed up with another sword that came from someone else. So this would be like you really wanting to follow something that is in alignment with your truth. It is in alignment with this innocent version of yourself, that part of yourself that maybe when you were a child, you were like, I love to write and writing is my passion and everything is about books. And yet on the other side, there's that wounding of a parent who told you that if you follow creative projects, or writers, many writers fail, or maybe you yourself have pursued maybe a career path in a different realm, and and there's an opportunity there versus this deep need to write, or something along those lines that ties back to this kind of more original version of yourself. And you're sitting there, and that's what's causing you to kind of have that moment of like, I don't know. Do I take the kind of tried and true, or what that I've been told is the safer path or the truer path? Or maybe this is also where maybe at a certain point you failed and you want to try again. So there's something about really using your ability to kind of see through the pain towards the innocent part of yourself, to see the truest part of yourself. It's going to lead you kind of out of that block and into the Queen of Cups. And the Queen of Cups is a beautiful energy because it's where we get to mother ourselves. We get to hold our cup of our needs, our hopes, our dreams, all of the things that we need to have fulfilled, that we need to follow, that we need to manifest, that are going to lend us to having a beautifully emotionally connected experience to our life. And she holds it dear. She really holds it sacred. And it is in that true kind of unconditional love for herself that she is then able to exude that to others, that she gives herself the love that maybe no one else gave her, and therein can give that love to those outside of herself. or can go back in time and give that love to her inner child. But there's something about really getting into the feminine energy for yourself, Libra. You obviously do have feminine energy because you are a sign ruled by Venus. So you do work with the feminine aspect, but I do feel like it's getting to that place of an empowered feminine energy. Because feminine energy sometimes, despite I feel like what is said so often in our current society outlook is that feminine energy is better than the masculine, or if women ruled the world would be this peaceful, loving place. And that's not the truth, because we need both energies. We need feminine energy, which is receptive, and we need masculine energy, which is the kind of pushing forward energy. You need both in life. The balance must be there. That is the yin and the yang. But there's also the component that it's how we wield the feminine energy, because feminine energy can also be, when we think of, when we take masculine energy, we take it to that level where it's negative. That can be where we get overly aggressive, and that aggression can, lead to violence. The opposite for feminine energy is when it's not healthily integrated into our experience, it can become passive aggressive, where we are not actively in a healthy way pursuing our goals or speaking to our needs. We are doing so in a way that is actually wounding not only ourselves but others around us, because we are acting out in ways hoping that someone will see our needs and then meet them for us. So keep that in mind. That we don't want to get to that place of passive aggression. We want to get to that place of healthy creation. That's the beauty of the feminine archetype and the feminine energy. And with strength coming in at the heart of your reading, this is, yes, exactly what you're being asked to embody. The strength card does not speak to having the strength to be aggressive or to use violence or aggression to protect yourself. The strength card speaks to having the courage to keep that kind of lion that lies within each one of us at bay, to understand how to integrate that beast within in a healthy way, to be able to protect ourselves and to meet our needs and to hold our cup sacred, and to accomplish our goals, but to do so from a place of grace, where we can assert ourselves in a way that comes from confidence, in a way that comes from love, in a way that we actually take pride in the love that we have, in the heart-centered courage that we have to act on our own behalf and on our dreams and our wishes and our needs. Because on the opposite side of that, this is where the opportunity is, a truly fresh start, a blank slate, the Fool. The Fool is truly the number 0. It is that 0-point field. It is where anything and everything is possible again. And for many of you, there is this beautiful opportunity with the Ace of Pentacles coming in. This is that little bit of that opportunity, that seed. It's the universe saying, here you go. But you have to have the courage to make the choice to plant this seed and to nurture it and to have faith in your own ability to make it grow. But you'll know what that seed is when you know your own truth. And when you know that truth apart from the wounding that has come from others. And therein, if you have the strength to follow this, the strength to have confidence in yourself, the strength to allow you to reconnect with that vulnerable part of yourself that may have been wounded, may have been hidden, you have a fresh start to bring that out. And that's going to lead to, with the Hanged Man coming in as your final point of kind of a challenge here, is a perspective shift. It's being able to see everything that is in your life, but seeing it with a new perspective that is coming straight from spirit. It's beautiful. Now we have the 7 of Swords at the bottom of the deck, which really does speak to kind of that, can be self-sabotage, it can be avoidance. It's where we're trying to maybe rationalize why we don't want to face something, why we don't want to do something. And unfortunately, you're being called to face this. You're being called to face something in your life at this point with the 2 of Swords, because there is a decision that needs to be made. Now I'm going to pull some additional cards here. So we're going to go a little deeper into this reading. And I'm going to pull some clarifiers. We're going to dive a little deeper into the 2 of Swords. So let's get an idea as to what Yeah, Two of Swords. So with Justice coming in, this can actually speak to legal contracts. This is also your energy, Libra, which is interesting. So there's a lot of your energy in this reading. You're really harnessing the power of your sign, which is about balancing the scales, fairness, justice, working with the legal system, but also creativity and working with the feminine archetype of creation. So there is something here around, maybe for some of you, you kind of are, there's a decision that has to be made around a contract. This can be, and we'll see here if it's maybe the making or the breaking of a contract. Yeah, the Two of Coins. That speaks to the juggling of the day-to-day tasks that we all have to do every day. And then this can also speak to if there's, when we look at this with the Ace of Pentacles coming in, the Two of Pentacles speaks to you may have to pick something and prioritize it. Maybe you're trying to do two things at one time. Maybe you're trying to do, two side hustles. Or maybe you try to do a side hustle and 9 to 5. Or maybe you're trying to, date 2-3 people. Maybe you're trying, you name it. Whatever feels kind of chaotic, whatever feels a little like there's just too much in the day and not enough time to do it. There's going to be this point where you might be offered an opportunity to pick one of those. This might be where somebody comes in and says, I know you have your side hustle, but we're willing to offer you this promotion that you've really been working towards and your 9 to 5. And it's kind of that point where then do you commit to the 9 to 5? And that's the opportunity, because all of a sudden it's opened up a whole nother scenario for you. And maybe you were only doing your side hustle because you were bored in your current place of, your current position. And now suddenly you're not bored anymore. You have the challenge you need and you can put aside the side hustle for a while. Or the opposite, where in getting that potential for a promotion, you look at your side hustle and you say, oh my gosh, if I take that promotion, I will not be able to do the side hustle. And the side hustle has now become the thing that ties me directly back to this version of myself. So that's all. It's going to be unique to you guys as to what this opportunity and this potential contract may be coming in for. So keep that in mind. And this can also speak to just balance, the divine element of what will balance your life out in this moment. The Justice card also speaks to, the blindness of fairness and balance. And there may be this opportunity to come in and balance out a part of your life. And you may have not really been able to see that maybe until this moment, until you're getting connected to your truth and what maybe is not in balance or in alignment with your personal truth. And here comes that 7 of Swords with the Queen of Cups. Yeah, for many of you, there's kind of this avoidance, I think, of either an avoidance of a mother. You might have mother wounding, to be honest. And there might be an avoidance around maybe interacting with a mother figure. There might be avoidance also of mothering yourself, of honoring your needs, where you might have gotten to this point where you're like, oh, don't worry, I can do that too. Maybe you needed to take a rest, but instead some other additional task fell on your shoulders and you're like, sure, I'll do that too. And sure, this happens to all of us at some point, especially those who have family members or dependents, that you put yourself on the line for them, but at the sake of your own needs and dreams and desires. And for many of you, you might have kind of put those on hold for some time, and suddenly now you're reconnecting with them. So really take a look at where you're kind of putting aside mothering yourself in an effort to mother or support others. And this can even be in a workplace. We can sit there and sometimes play the victim or the martyr to our own place of work. Now with strength, look at this. We have the Queen of Cups, we have the Moon, and we have the 5 of Coins. Yeah, it's going to take you... There is a feeling here with the Moon coming in of the way is unclear. It's a card that asks, can you walk this path on faith? And it's difficult because for many of you, I think you feel that on the other side of this is the 5 of Coins, which is where I'm not going to have enough. I might be left out in the cold. I might not have the support I need. I might be in a place of financial dependency with no one to depend on. And that can be very scary when we're looking at getting back in touch with really meeting. When we know we need to make a decision to meet our needs, that may change our whole experience, which is why the Fool is coming in at this point. It may literally cause us to start a new cycle because we realize that there's something deep within us that needs to be, nurtured and kind of attended to. And it's the strength here. It's saying you have the strength, Libra, to love yourself, to honor your needs, to mother yourself, and to walk this path on faith. Because the Queen of Cups is a card of Cancer. It speaks to following your intuition. And nobody better can navigate the kind of darkness in the moonlit night than someone who is highly intuitive and can kind of feel their way forward. Cancer is also specifically pulled by the moon. So there's a feeling of also being directly connected to just feeling that call, feeling the pull of the tide, so to speak, and just going with it. And the strength is going to come with having to kind of get past this fear of a poverty mindset of I won't have enough, I'll be left out alone, or I won't have the support I need if I nurture myself, if I make the choice to prioritize this opportunity. Okay, so let's go ahead and see for the Fool what's coming in for you. What does Libra know about what does Libra need to know about the Fool? Let's see here. Okay, so we have Page of Coins, the Hierophant, and Death. Ooh, yeah. Page of Coins is one where sometimes I can be a messenger, but this can also be where we are going out to see what we can do with that coin, with that opportunity. We're kind of going out with that childlike mentality of, you know what, I'm just going to try it out. Let's see what happens. I'm going to go out and I'm going to show this to people. I'm going to talk about it. I'm going to try to plant it. And with the Hierophant coming in, this is a card that speaks to our beliefs. What do we believe we are capable of? What do we believe we can handle? And it's also a level of commitment. Now, with Death coming in, there may have been a period, Death has been coming in quite a bit for many of the signs. And that's because we are going through a period of dramatic change, all of us. There's this kind of like the start of a new era, but for us, not only as a collective, but as we are individually. And the Fool does speak to, with the start of a new cycle, we understand that something had to kind of not only just end, but maybe had to die. Meaning that when we understand kind of the law of the universe, that matter is never destroyed. It's just, reformed into something else. There's something about that some part of yourself had to be kind of destroyed so that so it could be formed into something new. So that this new start could be activated. And this could be a way of being for many of you, or maybe you were given opportunities in the past, you went out to try something, and then your belief system got in the way. Whether this is someone telling you you can't do that. This could be a family member saying, that's not the way it's done. It could be a religion you followed. It could be just what society tells you isn't possible. And there's an end to that. This is challenging you to see, because the other thing with the Hierophant is challenging you to see beyond to a new way. And we're all going to be challenged in that capacity here with Saturn moving into Pisces. It's going to be seeing a new way. And it's truly comes down to what we believe, because Pisces, the motto for Pisces in the Zodiac is I believe. It's going to come down to our belief structures of what do we believe we're capable of? What do we believe is possible? And I think there's a death of a cycle where for many of you, you kind of tried something and then the belief structures of others got in the way. Their limiting mindset, their rules, their regulations that said you have to do it in a specific way. And that's coming to an end. It's interesting. I did your opposing sign, Aries, and in their reading, I heard the lyrics from that Frank Sinatra song. I did it my way, and I'm kind of hearing that again here. That it's almost like that realization of I have to do it my way. It's my life. How else am I going to do it? And who else? Why am I letting other people dictate to me what my needs are, or dictate to me the rules and regulations and beliefs if my feelings don't align with them, if what I want for myself, if what I want to do with my opportunity is not in alignment with that. Okay, yeah, the Hangman. So the perspective change is going to see where it's time to walk away from something, where there is something that is no longer emotionally fulfilling. Now, this could be a relationship. It could be a workplace, a career path. It could even be a way of being. It could literally be how you have always been seen by others, that maybe you've always been seen as the nurturing parent, or you've always been seen as the workaholic, or you've always been seen as, the person who's there for everybody when they need, that. And this may be the realization of, what, in order for me to honor my needs, to maybe prioritize this new opportunity, I'm going to have to walk away from that version of myself, or I'm going to have to walk away from this person or this relationship, or it's time for me to walk away from my 9 to 5, or it's time to walk away from my side hustle. It's going to be something along those lines. But the change in your belief system is really what's going to open that up. And it's going to open you up to, so if you notice, you have all pages coming in. You have the Page of Cups, you have the Page of Coins, you have the Page of Wands. Page of Wands. And so it's all childlike, innocent, like that kind of fresh start energy of I'm ready to see what's out there for me. I'm ready to just live from my passion. I'm ready to play. I'm ready to feel. And I'm ready to see what I can now get back from an opportunity that's coming in for me. And that Page of Wands is that just living from a sense of play, of what's fun, what am I passionate about, and how can I do it in this really kind of innocent way. And I think you're going to see what's preventing you from being able to do that. And that's really going to be where that key is. It's time for me to walk away from something because it's not allowing me to have that sense in my life. Now, when it comes out like this, where we have all of one, we have 3 out of the 4 pages come up. The one that's missing generally is actually the true message. And the one that's missing here is the Page of Swords. The Page of Swords is when we are actually trying to go out and gain more context on our truth of our sword. We're ready to go out there. We're curious. We're wondering, okay, if I know that this is a truth about who I am and what I want, well, then let me go out there and just start speaking from that place. Let me start taking action from that place. And I'm going to be curious as to where my truth fits into the grander scheme of things. Why do I have this perspective of truth? And I'm going to get to go out there and see it. So for many of you, I think you're hiding from that at this point. Now, at the bottom of this deck, we have the Wheel of Fortune. So yeah, there's a lot of energy moving in your favor right now. And again, for me recently, this card is really speaking to the time is now. The time is now for this fresh start, to follow something, to take this opportunity, to create and manifest for yourself what you really want, what's really, again, going to meet your needs, what's going to be mothering to you, perhaps not to another. Okay. Let's go ahead and pull a couple final cards here. Just get additional advice from Spirit. What does Libra need to know about the energy for the week ahead? We have 2 cards. We have Man Holding a Coin, which is very similar to the King of Pentacles in this deck. So like that. And then we have the 4th chakra, Archangel Raphael, number 38, breaking down to the number 11, master number 11. Beautiful. The portal between what can be and what is, when we decide to co-create with Spirit, when we decide to have that courage to walk through the portal into that fresh start. And this is all about the heart chakra. That's the 4th chakra. So there's something here about, I'm almost hearing capitalizing on what you love, using your heart to be that guide. That's kind of what the Page of Cups would do. I'm going to pull a couple clarifiers just to see if anything else wants to come out. The man holding the coin could actually signify that there could be somebody who is actually holding that coin. They are the one who is maybe presenting you with this opportunity. It could be a King of Pentacles. King of Pentacles is someone who could be very good in business. Someone who really knows how to dedicate, knows how to prioritize their time, their energy, their money. But it could be an actual individual in your life offering you this opportunity, and you get to use your heart to decide if this is right for you. And there's justice. Yeah, there's the contract, or there's the potential to kind of balance an injustice or imbalance somewhere there in the taking of this opportunity from this individual. Let's see about the heart. And there's the King of Pentacles. Okay, well, not much clarifying there because it just came out again. So, yeah, there is something here around maybe a contract with the King of Pentacles. And the King of Pentacles that's Taurus energy. So there could be a contract coming in here with the Taurus. There could be a rebalancing of energy between you and just maybe a business partner or someone who's in business. Or this could just truly be an opportunity that's just coming out of the blue to dedicate yourself to growing something with an individual who really has an eye for business, or who has an eye for being able to build and manifest in the physical, even if this is a home environment. Okay. Let's go ahead now and see. Let's see what's coming in for you. One final. I love this Power of Surrender deck, so I do feel like what comes out is wonderful. Okay, so we have Surrender Stubbornness. It says, if you're tensing up or taking a rigid stance about something, gently observe yourself and become more yielding. This will help you communicate more lovingly with others and yourself. And then we have surrender to divine timing. Sometimes divine timing may differ from your ego's timing. If a goal isn't manifesting fast enough according to your ego, be patient and trust the universal flow. And I love that, because when we're starting a new cycle, and a cycle, again, that's going to kind of break, I think, the pattern of trying to start something and then letting the pressures of society or what other people tell you can and cannot do, that cycle's ending. That can feel like, oh my gosh, if I walk away from something now, it will never, maybe you come the Eight of Pentacles or the Eight of Cups says, I've invested quite a bit of my emotional energy into something. And if I walk away now, I may never get that back, or I might not get it back immediately. With justice coming in, this says that, yeah, you're right. We don't, fairness is blind. Fairness doesn't come in and say, yeah, you're right, because you walked away, like you're immediately going to get a return on your investment. But the element of fairness is that it's true. It will come back. Any effort we put in will always come back to us. We just may not see it in the exact timing we expected, or in the way that we expected it to be returned to us. So really keep an open mind with that Moon card coming in. That kind of way is unclear. There could be an opportunity coming in here, the Wheel of Fortune coming in, that if you can really face what you haven't been wanting to face, I think, for some time, which is something deep within you that needs to be nurtured, and to kind of stop letting other people or outside influences kind of mar what you really want to do. There's an opportunity that's going to present itself for you, and possibly a business opportunity or an opportunity in love with someone who represents the King of Pentacles, which is a very stable, secure individual. The surrender stubbornness. Yeah, sometimes this is more about just, when it says become more yielding, I like how it says this will help you communicate more lovingly with others and yourself. Sometimes when we get to that point of like, yes, but it has to be this way, or always has to be this way, or I don't like this because, that can actually come from a place of wounding. Or we're so stubborn about something because we're trying to, that's what we're trying to prove to someone else, that, their way is wrong. And instead of just kind of saying, you know what, I don't care, I don't need to fight with you about this, or Or to realize that maybe someone else does, maybe someone's trying to come in and offer help. Someone's trying to come in and offer a partnership. Someone's trying, the opportunity is trying to come in, but maybe we're so stubbornly pushing it away saying, I would never want a manager position. And yet the opportunity to become a manager might open up a whole nother level of experience for yourself. Or I'm, stubbornly, it has to happen in this way. And if it doesn't, well, then screw it. It's just back to square one. And this is saying, open yourself up. Open yourself up to the possibility that the time is now. Maybe you had tried something in the past, Libra. Maybe you had tried to have a relationship. Maybe you had tried to start a business. Maybe you had tried to get that promotion and it just didn't work out. And maybe now the time, this is where the true opportunity, so where the fresh start comes in, but it's all going to hinge around your own belief system and what you're willing to walk away from. Yeah, the Ten of Wands, putting down a heavy burden that you've carried for quite some time and one that you thought you had to carry alone. Now, the Ten of Wands speaks to the final card in that cycle. So it's learning your lesson that you don't carry a burden all alone. No one is, with the Nine of Wands, that's burnout. It's a card. This is the weary, wounded warrior. He's gone through all of these things. He's exhausted. And now you get to the Ten of, and you're like, I'm carrying the whole burden alone. And it's saying, I think that time period is done. Because when you think about it, if you're mothering yourself and you're honoring yourself, that individual wouldn't be carrying this burden all alone. They would stop and give themselves a rest. They'd put that down. They might even go and contact a couple friends and say, hey, I got this heavy package. I really can't carry it. Can you come and maybe we can make a fun time out of it? So there's something around this where it's like the time is now. You've come a long way, Libra. The stubbornness may be that you don't know yourself without carrying this burden. And it's time to think about, what if you just put that down? What if you didn't carry that burden? What's waiting to come in for you? And what do you truly want to manifest for yourself? If you could have a new start to doing anything that you want, and you had the opportunity to walk away from something, what would that be? All right, I'm going to leave it there. I hope you all have a wonderful week ahead, a great Virgo full moon, and I look forward to reading for you next week, Libra. Bye.